Welcome to the InfoWars Nightly News. It is Monday, April 6, 2015, and I'm Leanne McAdoo. Here are tonight's top stories.
Tonight, how hurting feelings on Facebook could land you in the slammer. Then, Snowden says don't be spooked by the NSA and the underbelly of Jade Helm. That's next on the InfoWars Nightly News.
Belly of the beast, 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 yeah!
The NSA has the greatest surveillance capabilities that we've ever seen in history. Now, what they will argue is that they don't use this for nefarious purposes against American citizens. But the real problem is that they're using these capabilities to make us vulnerable to them and then saying, while I have a gun pointed at your head, I'm not going to pull the trigger. Trust me.
That was Edward Snowden speaking with HBO comedian John Oliver. He traveled to Russia last week to speak with Snowden primarily about Section 215 of the Patriot Act and the fact that this is set to expire June 1st. Now, just a little refresher, what is Section 215? Section 215 allows the FBI to order any person or entity to turn over any tangible things so long as the FBI specifies that the order is for an authorized investigation. It's to protect against international terrorism or clandestine intelligence activities. Section 215 vastly expands the FBI's power to spy on ordinary people living in the United States. So simply, it takes away a lot of our freedoms without offering us any real security in return. Now, Snowden also warned to John Oliver that while some NSA programs are helpful to the country's intelligence officials, spying has started to come against American citizens themselves in wide-ranging domestic surveillance. And really, it was kind of funny because the only way that John Oliver could get it across to his audience was he took to the streets to let people know that the NSA was collecting their nude photographs. Now, prior to telling them this, they didn't really care who the NSA was. They didn't have any idea who Edward Snowden was. But as soon as they realized just what was happening with some of their personal information or personal pictures, then they were all outraged about it, probably feigning outrage. We'll see if they actually call their congresspeople or something to let them know they want to repeal the Patriot Act. But Snowden says that even if they are collecting your nudie photos and passing them around throughout the office, Americans shouldn't curb their use of the internet just so they can avoid having these intimate pictures and all their personal information shared and intercepted by the NSA. He says, if we sacrifice our values because we're afraid, then we don't care about those values very much in the first place. And that's absolutely right. They want us to lock down the internet, lock down our use of the internet out of fear, and fear that Big Brother is always watching. It's just like 1984. Big Brother is always watching, so be careful what you say, be careful what you do. And I even found myself for many years being really careful about the things that I searched online because I didn't want to be put on some red or blue list and, be one of these people that's going to get picked up during the Jade Helm military exercises. But that's exactly what they want us to do. They want to control us so that we don't go to the internet to wake people up, to get real information that we're not getting from the mainstream media. And so that's absolutely why we all should push back against this. Look up whatever we want to, share it with our friends. Be sure to share all of InfoWars articles and stories with your friends and continue waking people up, because that's the big issue they're having, is that the internet is waking people up beyond the control of the controllers. And so, of course, they just want to let us know Big Brother is watching. So what? Who cares? Share the nudie pics. Now, news without action is just voyeurism. So here's what you can do to help. Now, this is the Electronic Frontier Foundation. They're always doing really great work, but they're making it very easy for you. You can follow the link that's provided in this video. They say, let your Congress know that a vote to reauthorize Section 215 is a vote against the Constitution. Email your representatives, call them, and tell Congress to take a stand. So we do have a little time to really harass and annoy our Congress, our representatives, and let them know that we're really concerned about this, and we specifically want a little bit of NSA reform, or a lot of NSA reform. Now, speaking of the way we use the internet and maybe curbing how we do that, a top cop is now insinuating that just insulting someone on Facebook can get you arrested. This is a police representative. He warned that Americans could be arrested for bad language or insulting someone on Facebook after a woman was charged with harassment by computer for posting a selfie of herself holding a gun. Now, this is a 26-year-old woman, Kristen Holmes. She got into a Facebook argument when a woman had mistaken her for someone else, and so she took a picture of herself brushing her teeth and holding a gun, taking a selfie, and she said, "I'll post a few actual pics of me so you know the difference when you come and find me." And she said it kind of funny. She called herself Facebook thugging, and she said, "Don't do it, it'll get you arrested." But now Holmes is facing up to 1 year in prison and a $2,500 fine for posting this photo that she took down after she realized it was kind of threatening, a little bit intimidating. She said she took it down. But she says, "It wasn't a threat. I thought it was a funny picture. What happened to freedom of speech?" But the president of the Virginia Fraternal Order of Police says that free speech doesn't say you have the right to insult somebody. Oh, unfortunately, yes, it does. But he said that using bad language online should also be considered a crime. He said it's actually against the law to say it in public. It's a part of the disorderly conduct statute. If it's against the law to say it in public, why wouldn't it be against the law to say it to someone through a computer? So now here we have a top cop talking about arresting people for using profanity online. So that is quite insane. Big Brother, totalitarian. They want to be able to control every aspect of your life, tightly monitor and control it. That's the only way the government can grow. They don't actually do anything. The only way they can grow is by enacting bizarre regulations against the public. So here we have another story. A Texas man is now serving 17 days in jail because he had an overgrown lawn. This was the option he opted for. This is Rick Yos. He's an electrician for Tarrant County College. He routinely works long hours. He just turned himself into custody on Saturday because he lacked the funds to pay a $1,700 fine that he received over his yard. He said that's the equivalent of 3 mortgage payments for him. So he said it got overgrown because he was working a lot of hours. They were really busy. As soon as the city sent a warning, they handled it. They mowed the lawn and they continued to keep it mowed, but that wasn't enough for the city. They issued a warrant for Yos' arrest and a $1,700 fine. Now, in that article, there is a video of Alex Jones, baby Alex Jones, from the archives, where he is interviewing Roland Ellingson, who was being threatened with fines over an overgrown lawn as well here in Austin. And they were threatening him with fines of up to $2,000 a day. So Alex went to one of the city council members' homes just down the street from Mr. Ellingson. And that city council member actually owned 2 homes on that street. And her yard was completely overgrown. There were holes in the roof, a tarp over the roof at one of her rental homes. But of course, no fines for that city council member. And that's what this is all about. It's not to regulate everyone. It's not to save the entire earth. It's about controlling the people who don't have enough money to push back. Now, we're also seeing this in California. They're experiencing a historical drought right now. And so the governor has just announced that he's going to start levying heavy fines for people who take too long of showers. $500 a day for people who are found to be taking a little bit too long in the shower. Now, obviously, they're going to be able to track that because of all of those mandatory smart meters that they were installing all over the state. But now a lot of California residents are pointing out the hypocrisy in this, saying if you go to an affluent neighborhood in Beverly Hills, it doesn't even seem like there is a drought at all. There doesn't seem to be any sort of a drought because people are still watering their lawns and the golf courses are still really green. And they're also pointing out that these neighborhoods use far more water per capita than less wealthy communities, 150 gallons of water per capita in places like Beverly Hills, whereas it's less than 45 per capita in these lower income communities. So you see how they're using so much more water, but they're not going to get levied. They're not going to get these huge fines, just like Nestle is going to scoop up all the water that's there and continue selling this bottled water, $10 a gallon, while there is a historical drought. So it's not about controlling this and saving the world. It's about rules and regulations for those who can't buy their way out of them. So now we're seeing, you know, we can't cuss online. The definition of free speech and freedom of religion is a little bit fuzzy now in this United States of totalitarianism. We've reported before people who simply question the official story of 9/11 were kidnapped by the FBI and thrown into mental institution because they were sharing too many stories on Facebook questioning the official story of 9/11. And now we're actually being sent in reports from some of our listeners. The National Guard is being called up in places like Michigan and Florida to do these military trials of rounding up dissidents. So that is a huge concern, because here they're kind of setting the agenda of this is what you can do, this is what you can't do. Big Brother is always watching you. And now we're going to go and start doing our military training exercises right on the street. You can see us rounding up dissidents. And that is a big concern. Coming up right after this break, we are going to be playing a special report from John Bound. It's a precursor to this Jade Helm military exercise. It's why you should be so concerned with everything that's going on, with all this totalitarianism, authoritarianism that is coming down from all sectors. It's called the Phoenix program. And the thing that was so concerning with that is that it targeted civilians, not soldiers.
INFOWARS Life and INFOWARSLife.com is extremely excited to announce our latest release, Winter Sun, a revolutionary type of vitamin D3. Winter Sun is a premium quality vitamin D3 nutritional supplement. It is produced by extracting oil from healthy, nutrient-dense plants known as lichens. Every batch is analyzed for purity and D3 content. It's completely free of toxins and allergens. Simply put, if you want the best at an extremely low price, this is it. Winter Sun is the result of our pursuit of the best source of vitamin D3. The research and development took over 2 years, but the result, as verified by independent laboratories, is the best vegan vitamin D3 product in the world. Read the facts at InfoWarsLife.com about Winter Sun Vitamin D3. Not only does vitamin D3 promote a healthy mood, but vitamin D supports our memory and brain function, something the globalists are targeting. Visit InfoWars.com today or call 888-253-3139. The knowledge of the ancients, tried and true, trusted herbs and extracts fused with the latest nutraceutical science. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend, crafted with over 14 key ancient herbs and extracts to supercharge and prepare your body for what experts admit is the most dangerous season of the year. We have rejected hundreds of other formulations in our quest to bring you what is simply the most powerful and comprehensive proprietary formula that we have ever created in the realm of herbal immunity. For the last 2 years, our team has been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to develop the ultimate nutraceutical formulation. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. For a limited time, get 25% off on this introductory offer. Visit AncientDefense.com or call 888-253-3139. AncientDefense.com.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. Over the past several weeks, you have heard a number of reports on TV, radio, and in your newspapers on the situation in Southeast Asia. I think the time has come for me as President and as Commander-in-Chief of our armed forces to put these reports in perspective.
Tactics used during the Vietnam War by the CIA and the military eerily echo the current establishment's buildup of Stasi-style homeland security, and that their declaration that the greatest threat to national security is sovereign, patriotic citizens, not the thousands of criminals crossing our southern border, murdering and raping American citizens, not the Islamic terrorist organizations that have been embedded in the